Yo, what is good, my fellow Magic Knights? It is your boy DEADMANVINCE back with yet another Black Clover mobile video. Hope everybody has been enjoying the content lately and hope everybody has been enjoying the game. We are 5 days away from the global version of the game dropping, and I thought that we might need to go ahead and start getting some guide videos out, kind of like leading up, so people can go ahead and just like watch them, get it prepped in their mind, kind of know what to do as soon as the game drops, hit the ground running, you know what I'm saying? So if you guys do enjoy this content, then you can go down below, you can smack that like button, you can smack the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time I drop a video, because there will be quite a few videos this week. Then you can also comment down below and let me know what you think of my videos. Let me know what you think about, you know, the information that I'm giving. Or if you just want to say thanks even, you can go down below and comment that as well. But we're going to get right into it. So guys, a long time ago, I had made a reroll guide for the Japanese version of the game, and I thought I'd come back and kind of update it now that the game is to the point where it is, and we've gotten to experience so many different like characters and see how they all perform, right? Let's just see what we want to do. So, I am going to say, first and foremost, there's going to be a reroll summon that is, you can do it 20 times, right? It's going to be like this red ticket. You'll see it like your first day in the banner. You're going to go in and you're going to summon. When you summon, you will get your first multi. The first multi that they give you, they will force you to save that multi. Once you save that multi, you can do the next 19 summons. And if you like another multi that you get better, then you can save that multi instead and rewrite or overwrite the other multi that you had. But this is only up to 20 times. And this is a list of all the units that were out in the game whenever the game first dropped. Yami and Fuego were not a part of the reroll banner though. They were on their own separate banner whenever the game dropped. So you'll have the reroll banner that has all the mages you see here, except for Yami and Fuego. Then you will have a Yami banner, a Fuego banner, both separate banners, and the banners are 20 summons to get to the guaranteed point where you get the mage guaranteed. Then you will also have a separate seasonal banner, and the seasonal banner will have a Asta that is a DPS. You're going to have Mimosa, who is a healer, and then you're going to have another Yami, who is also another DPS. Mimosa's green, Asta's red, Yami's blue, and I'll go over them a little bit in a second, right? But basically, first and foremost, the first mage that you should be trying to get your hands on when you are rerolling is Lotus. Lotus, hands down. Lotus makes the farming experience in this game so easy, so free. I'm going to go over his skills real quick, and I'm just going to let you guys know. Now, before we break Lotus down, I will just say, you will only be able to get one SSR mage from the reroll summon. You can get multiple SSR skill pages on that summon, but you can only get one SSR mage. It's going to be kind of hard to get Lotus and his skill page in the first summon. If you get that lucky, then GG. But more so, you want to get Lotus, and you want to get an SSR skill page that has an effect that will help Lotus either debuff enemies, do more damage to enemies, or anything of that nature, right? But you definitely need to be walking away with Lotus and an SSR skill page, no matter the skill page, because if you get to the end of your rerolls and you have Lotus with the skill page that maybe doesn't work the best with him, as long as you have Lotus, really, more so. Lotus works without his skill page. Honestly, I can read you his skill page. So, there are character-specific skill pages, and then there are non-character-specific skill pages. The general skill pages will work on any mage that you want to throw them onto. Character-specific skill pages, not necessarily only work on the character that is specific to, like Lotus' skill page here. You can see this little debuffer logo on it. So, Lotus' skill page will actually work with any debuffer. So, any SR debuffer, SSR, or even rare debuffers, you definitely have no reason to use rare mages. But, Lotus' skill page at level 1 is going to be, so 0 stars, is going to be, has a 25% chance to apply 2% speed reduction to an enemy for 1 turn upon attacking. Now, speed is the rate. Every mage has stamina. Stamina, if you can boost stamina directly, definitely do that. That's why Voltos is very good. But speed determines how fast your stamina fills up. So if Lotus is constantly lowering your speed, constantly the enemy team is going to be moving slower and slower and slower. And eventually it gets to a point, because I used to use Lotus for PvP, it gets to a point where Lotus just keeps the enemy team from attacking anymore. You just can't take your turns anymore because Lotus hit you too many times, basically. His skill page, if you get it to 5-star, is a 25% chance to apply 10% speed reduction to an enemy for 1 turn. So if you can get Lotus and his skill page, that'd be very, very beneficial for you, because all the speed reduction that you can get added in is going to be very great. Now, each character, when you put their specific skill page on them, they also get the added bonus of one of their skills get upgraded. So before Lotus has a skill page, his skill 2 is a single target skill. It inflicts extended debuff duration, so whatever debuff an enemy has, he's going to extend that by 1 extra turn. And then it inflicts reduced damage resistance, level 3 on an enemy for 2 turns. So you're just going to be taking more damage as well. Damage resistance is decreased by 24% on that skill. If you have his skill page, it also inflicts an enemy with concentrated attack. Now, if you look on the wiki, there's no definition for concentrated attack. What I believe concentrated attack does is that it causes a mage to take more damage if they're getting hit with single target skills as opposed to AoE skills. So Lotus, already right there, just off of the skill 2, just off of the skill page, is very impressive for your farming experience, right? Now let's take a look at Lotus's skills. Lotus's skill 1 is an AoE, so it hits everybody. Lotus's skill 1 has a 50% chance to inflict 15% reduced stamina on an enemy. So automatically, what I was talking about, if you can directly affect the stamina, whether it be on your team boosting the stamina or on the enemy team lowering the stamina, that's going to be very beneficial to you. Lotus lowering stamina gets you those extra turns, right? Then also with the added bonus of his skill page, lowering their speed so their stamina is slower to build back up too, Lotus can start to be very, very toxic. That's in PvP, that's in PvE, and it's a 55, if you get the skill all the way to level 5, it's a 55% chance to decrease their stamina. If you can get that skill boosted up to level 5, it is a 55% chance to reduce their stamina by 15%. I typically like when the percent chance of something happening is at 70%, but 55% is better than 50%. And honestly, another reason why I'm telling you guys these skills at the max level is because if you can level up these skills early on, they're going to be so beneficial to you later on, because a lot of people are going to be trying to like run up PvP when it first starts in the game, and Lotus is going to, 1, be very good for PvP, help you get higher level PvP like day 1. 2, you're going to get a lot of skill upgrade materials from that, and Lotus is not a bad option to go ahead and dump your skill materials into. Lotus's skill 2 we already talked about. That is a skill that gives extra damage, or lowers enemy damage resistance, increases enemies debuffs by an extra turn, and also does concentrated damage on the enemy if you have the skill page. Without the skill page, it doesn't do the concentrated damage effect, but even still a good skill to have in a single target. One thing you'll notice about Lotus is that Lotus actually does have pretty solid like cleave damage. Like if you get enough turns in with Lotus, because like you got to think he's going to be constantly lowering the enemy team's speed and stamina. That just means that your team is going to be able to hit more and more. Lotus kind of doubles as an offensive and defensive debuffer, right? Because he's offensive in the sense that he does pretty good damage and he keeps you from attacking and he just keeps laying on the attacks. He's good in the defensive sense because he keeps you at bay. You literally cannot attack if Lotus hits you enough times and you run out of speed or stamina or whatever you need, right? Then we look at Lotus's ultimate. Lotus's ultimate is going to inflict incapacitate level 3 on all enemies for 2 turns. So let's just talk about that. That right there is super duper crucial. That incapacitate level 3 makes it so that enemies take an extra 50% of damage. That is insane. It literally, it's the difference in between night and day, bro. Like having defense reductions and incapacitate, that starts to put enemies in like one-shot territory. And Lotus has so many different debuffs. He's keeping you at bay, so you can't even attack the enemy. You can't even attack my team anymore. Then I'm also incapacitating you so that I can kill you even faster while you're waiting to attack my team. Not only does it incapacitate level 3, has a 50% chance to remove all buffs from an enemy. So if an enemy is buffed up crazy and they're about to do big damage on you next turn, no, they're not. Lotus can take that buff away, take all those buffs away, and if you get the skill to level 5, then you can have a 60% chance to remove all of those buffs. And if you, the third effect of this skill is a 50% chance to inflict speed reduction level 3 on an enemy for 2 turns. Speed reduction level 3 reduces your speed by over half, by 55%. That, Lotus is toxic. Lotus is absolutely toxic. It doesn't matter whether you're facing like mobs in PvE, he's going to have control all over that. It doesn't matter whether you're going in PvP, he's going to have control all over that. Lotus is such a dominant debuffer. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to look real quick at all of the mages in the game, and I'm going to tell you guys something. Some of the first DPSs in the game are going to be Jack. Jack was never, nobody's ever really like used Jack like that. Fuego is ass. Let's see, who else? Leopold, I've never seriously used Leopold. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yami's still good. Yeah, Yami is still good to this day. So those are like the characters that were out in the game upon release. I will tell you right now, Jack, like I said, nobody ever really used Jack. Jack's still replaced by New Jack, and New Jack's not even that great just because of how much setup he requires, how much you have to sweat to get him to a certain point, right? You have Fuego here. Fuego was always ass. This Fuego is much better than that Fuego. but he you know, replaced, right? This is the theme that I'm trying to show you right now. DPSs from the start of the game have been replaced. Let's take a look at the debuffers, I guess. These two have always been here, right? And Nozel I don't really use. Real I use quite a bit. Swimsuit, you know, is very good. You know, Golden Dawn, you know, is very good. Noelle is very good. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like any of these mages have replaced Lotus, honestly. Maybe somebody replaced Charlotte. Maybe. I still use Charlotte. I like Charlotte as a character, though, so I will make use of her wherever I can. But Lotus is still somebody that you can still see on a team today in PvE, PvP. It does not matter. Lotus is still always going to be there in the cut somewhere. Guardians. Okay. Mars is still great to this day, but Veto's another very good option that you have. This Veto's ass, but like this Veto right here is very good. This Asta right here is very good. It's the ranking on this website is wild because these two are actually pretty damn good. Would I say they're Mars level? Not quite, because Mars actually does pretty solid damage as a defender, believe it or not, and he has capabilities, you know, with his stuns on the entire enemy team. Him and Lotus have a combo ultimate. Mars still has a lot of use. He is still a very good guardian to this day. Same for Raddy's. And this is kind of like, these two are still very good options to get in the first place too. But the only reason why I say Lotus is because not only is Lotus going to give you so much control, he's also going to be able to do damage to the enemies that you're going against, which is going to help you get through stages faster. Mars and Raddy's will help you survive a stage, but if you do not have the proper damage, if you do not have the sufficient damage, then you're not going to be getting through the stage as fast as you want to, and that's just going to be like wasted time, you know, waiting for your guardians to just tank out the enemies and survive past all the damage that they can do. But Despair, Veto, and Asta are still good. That's crazy that they're only B tier on this wiki. Healers. Mimosa's good, but the problem is that if Mimosa gets stunned, she cannot really do anything until she's unstunned, right? Then you get Kahono, and Kahono has her healing over time, which is pretty good. And she kind of like replaces Mimosa a bit because she can heal you even when she's stunned if she did her healing move the turn prior. Then you have a beast like Charmy. Charmy can heal you no matter what. She can get stunned, frozen, transformed. It does not matter. If you get Charmy 2 stars, she has a passive that literally heals you even when she can't heal you. Insanity, right? She's very good. Witch Queen sucks. We're not even going to talk about it. We're just not going to talk about it. And then supporters. William was like the best supporter in the game. I feel like from a PvP standpoint, Charlotte's do a lot better. Ghost actually isn't that bad. Gwildare I haven't really used too much. And Sally feels like later on you work on her, not at the beginning of the game. But basically the point that I'm making to you guys is like each one of these categories I look through, I feel like mages have been replaced, given the caveat of these two. I feel like mages have been replaced for the most part. Then you get to debuffer and I feel like Lotus is still kind of like supreme here. A lot of different debuffers came out and Lotus was so good that people will be like, oh well, this person be good enough to replace Lotus, right? So cool. Season 2 Yuno comes out. He doesn't replace Lotus, but he just has like a different kit, yo. So I still use him. I still like him very much. He's good in different aspects, but does he give me the overall coverage that I need like Lotus does? Absolutely not. Real doesn't give me the overall coverage I need, because where Real can have a very good first turn, if he doesn't have a very good first turn, you're looking kind of stuck with Real. So Lotus still wins in that regard. Charlotte is the type of mage that you want other characters with her to really make her shine, I feel like. But Lotus is just like he can shine on his own because he has so much control and he can do all the damage that he needs to do as well. Like, it'll take a little bit longer than you using a DPS, but like he can still get the damage out and still kill. Like Lotus hits relatively hard, right? So then let's look at his combo skill. His combo skill is going to be performs combined attack with a partner mage, dealing damage to all enemies. So his partner skill is the AoE, very good. 60% chance to inflict 20% reduced stamina on enemies, and then if you do his combo attack with Mars, he inflicts level 3 speed reduction, so the 55% speed reduction, and that is not a chance at inflicting that. That is guaranteed inflicting that. And you can see it right here actually. That's with Mars, that's without Mars. So chance to decrease stamina versus actually literally decreasing speed for 2 turns. And those 2 turns a lot can change those 2 turns. His enhanced passive, so when you give him stars, right? When you give him 2 stars, he's gonna have a 25% chance to inflict 10% reduced all attack to an enemy for 1 turn upon attacking. And then when you get him to 5-star, that just increases even further. Let me look, because I have him 5-star. If you get him 5-star, then it's gonna be a 35% chance to inflict 12% reduce all attack to an enemy for 1 turn. So giving you a little more survivability on that aspect. And then his passive from getting him to LR is literally just going to be his magical attack is plus 12%. I cannot wait till they implement a system into the game, by the way, just side note. I can't wait till they implement a system into the game in the future that is kind of like a Dokkan, like Easy A, Extreme Z Awakening, right? Where they can increase the character's passive or anything, because just 12% to magical attack feels a little weird for somebody like Lotus. I feel like they should be giving him more magical attack and also giving him more speed reduction capabilities, just so he's like that much more toxic. But just my opinion. But yeah, Lotus is definitely going to be like your safest bet for picking up a mage at reroll. Also, Mars and Raddies, like I said, they do not hurt. They're very good. Raddies can give a shield to your entire team. Like these characters that I say get at reroll, more so I say get them at reroll because like at first, because you're going to want to spend a lot of your time investing in these mages to make sure that your play experience is as optimal as it can be. But Lotus is a no-brainer. Lotus is who you want, like first and foremost. If you by somehow are absolutely cursed by the gods of luck and you cannot at all pull Lotus in all of your efforts, then you know Mars or Raddies is a good choice. So William is a very good mage. When William first drops, he is like the best supporter in the game, literally hands down best supporter in the game. But William, I feel like, can get eclipsed by newer supports that are going to come in the future. Now, that's not to say that he's not good. William is still very good, but I feel like whenever I'm looking for a supporter to throw on my team, there's like somebody else that I'm looking to use, like the Charlottes, like I talked about earlier, right? Finral is a very good supporter that you can have at the beginning of the game. Valtos is a very good supporter that you can have at the beginning of the game. So you have options for supporters if you can't pull Vengeance. I would say Lotus is your priority, your main priority. Mars is like very good. It's funny too because I kind of sleep on Mars sometimes, but like Mars has been with my account like the longest. My first SSR was Lotus from the reroll summon. Then I got Mars here after that, and Mars for a while was like the highest CC mage on my account. Raddies I kind of slept on for a little while, but now he's 5-star, so I do love using Raddies a lot now. Let's talk about some additional mages that would be good for you to have. So Asta, Yuno, and Noel, all 3 of them are going to be given to you for free at the start of the game. I'm pretty sure you get Ghost once you get to a certain chapter. There used to be story tickets, but now they're removing story tickets because they realized that was a dumbass system anyway. You shouldn't really care too much for any of the rare mages. Finral is a very good support. He can boost your speed, boost your crit rate. He works very well with Yami. Like monocolor teams, Red probably has the edge just because it has cheaper characters that you can work on and they have such great effects. Ghost, like I said, you're gonna get free later on in the game, but he can be a pretty solid DPS as well. He has double hit. A lot of these mages have double hit. Charmy is a phenomenal healer as an SR. Like she's very good, and so is the Mimosa right here. I don't know that I would say summon on that seasonal banner as soon as you get out of the reroll banner, just because like the only thing you're getting from that seasonal banner is like a blue Yami who's kind of mid tier in my opinion. Red Asta, he's a good DPS, but I like Yami more as a DPS because Yami has that AoE. He has AoE. He can bleed enemies. If an enemy's bleeding, you hit with Yami's skill 2. He can stun whoever you choose because all Yami has to do to bleed the entire enemy team is to crit one of them. Once he crits once on one of them, he can instantly like sec skill 2 next time his turn comes around. He can hit him with a skill 2. He can stun anybody that you want for free. His ultimate hits really hard. If you don't have anybody bleeded yet, you can bleed with the ultimate and then hit him with the skill 2 if they didn't die from the ultimate. Yami's combo skill also is an AoE just like Lotus's. I used to put Yami and Lotus side by side actually, so I could use Lotus's speed reduction and then I'll use the combo skill with Yami and Lotus and then get another AoE attack from Lotus which would lower the enemy's speed by 55% and then just hit him with another Yami AoE. That's usually a pretty good like scrape combo right there. Luck is a pretty solid mage. He's very interesting. His magic and his physical attack are like equal, but he can do pretty good numbers once you get him worked on. I actually do want to work on Luck, like before some of my SSRs even. Magna, I don't know, I would say stay away from. So Lotus with Charmy or Finral or Luck or Ghost even, because you get Ghost early and go ahead and start working on them beforehand, right? It's like when you get a character for free, that's cool. But sometimes, you know, you get a character for free from the first summon and then it's just like, good, I can work on them even earlier. I can get them cracked out even earlier. Then by the time you're getting them for free in the story, you're just adding another dupe onto them. Valtos, another very good choice. He will give you higher accuracy, higher speed, higher stamina mainly. He's not somebody to sleep on. Anybody down here? Okay, these guys right here, rares, they're ass. rare ass. She's actually a pretty solid debuffer. Solid is a pretty solid DPS, actually. I actually did want to do like a PvP kind of like Silva family team. Shirin, I don't know what the hell they were thinking with him. Alec whatever. Georg was good in the beta, funny enough, but he's like whatever now. Sally, I'd stay away from. You do not want Sally as your first character, I'd say. Valto's very good. This is another rare. No one cares. These three, honestly. Lotus. Go for Lotus, bro. Look for a DPS that can do good damage for you. Honestly, if you're looking for somebody to work on, I'd say work on Asta's a tank, which is fine. Asta's actually not that bad of a tank. Soul is probably a better tank, but Lotus is your first priority. Lotus, hands down. Then you get a free DPS, you get a free supporter, and Noelle has a shield as well. And if you link her up with the SR Mimosa, they have like a combo move too, where they can give everybody shields and Mimosa can heal. So it's actually very good, like the compositions that you can make when the game first starts. Now, when you're talking about re-rolling beyond the re-roll banner, I would say summon on Yami's banner. Yami does pretty good damage. I wouldn't even touch Fuego's banner. I touched every banner because I have all the characters right now currently in the JP version. I would not say touch Fuego, bro. I've tried to make Fuego work multiple times, and honestly, it just isn't to my satisfaction. Fuego is not a great choice. Nozel, if you get Nozel to start, please re-roll some more, dude, because that shit's not worth it. Charlotte's not too bad, but like I said, Charlotte is somebody who works well with other characters. She works really well with Yami, actually, because Yami has high damage. She has a debuff called Mark. If you mark enemies, if an enemy dies that turn, the person who killed them gets an extra turn. So say you mark somebody with Charlotte and then you hit them with Yami's like skill 2, because Charlotte can also bleed people. You can hit them with Yami skill 2, stun somebody, or just kill them, and then you can just hit the next person with another skill from Yami, or even hit Yami's AoE and get everybody skimmed down a little bit. But yeah, you're gonna want Lotus. Lotus. That is the name of the game. Lotus will make your farming experience far and away so much easier. Plus, the gear stages, one of the gear stages requires you to use it doesn't require you to use an all blue team, but it's just easier if you use type advantage teams against the enemies. Lotus will dominate that red gear stage, and the red gear stage has the most versatile gear sets in it, so you probably do want to go for Lotus and go for that stage there so you can start farming up your gear fast. Experience potions and gear are definitely going to be like your first go-to type of things. Gear will give you great extra stats. Do not work on gear if it's not LR. Like, do not put any materials into it. You don't have that luxury, because that is just a waste. You're not going to be using those gears in the future. But at least put the gear pieces on them so you can get extra stats and then just keep going. And I'll have a separate video on gear. But yeah, when you're re-rolling, bro, Lotus all the way. Secondary maze that you should be summoning for is more than likely going to be like Yami or Yami. Yeah, Yami. Cool. Glad we had this talk, chat. You can summon on the seasonal banner if you want. They're limited characters, but honestly, bro, they're not that limited, because we're literally about to get the season 1 banner back on the JP version for the half anniversary, before the half anniversary really like kicks off when we get the new banner. So summon at your own risk. Yami's great. Honestly, I still use Yami to this day. Sometimes I switch Yami out and put him on my PvP team, and the meta's changed so much, and there's so many dominating blue units in the game, and people will try to make the argument that blue Yami is better than red Yami. That is literally just a type advantage type of thing that they're looking at, because my red Yami has burned so many blue Yamis in PvP, and I can tell you blue Yami definitely does perform as long as you put the proper work into him. But yeah, Lotus, Yami, a great combo. The SRs, Charming, Finral, Noelle and Asta are gonna get for free, so that doesn't matter. Luck is a good DPS, but yeah, Valtos. That's gonna be kind of like it for my like reroll guide. This isn't like some super in-depth. I'm not like a big reroller. I'm more so a come in, reroll a few times, not spend all day doing it. If I get something that looks decent, I'm just like, all right, cool, I'm gonna run with it. And for Black Clover specifically, I was like, all right, I'm gonna run with this, because like I plan on summoning all the characters any damn way. It didn't matter to me. So that's just kind of like the point that I'm at. So rerolling didn't really matter to me. Obviously, you're gonna go look at different reroll videos, and people will tell you all kinds of different things, but I like to keep it short, sweet, simple, to the point, because that time that you spend rerolling, you can spend all day rerolling. I've heard of people spending like a day or more rerolling, and honestly, it just sounds like a very like big waste of time to me, because when a new game drops, there's big learning curves to that new game. And if you spend an entire day re-rolling, that is an entire day behind the entire player base that you are because you decided to re-roll for like a specific character. Plus, people, who knows how many people are actually watching videos on this game on the JP version as they wait for the global version. There's going to be a lot of people who come in and they don't know which mage does what, right? Just take my word for it. Lotus will make your farming experience the easiest. Go for Lotus. People are going to be trying to re-roll for like extra characters that they don't even know what they do or something like that, and you can't even re-roll for extra characters. But like, just go for Lotus, get an SSR skill page, get some good SR DPSs, healers, whatever, bro, and just go for it. Realistically, you're gonna want to eventually summon for Yami and get him because he is a very good farming unit. But that is it for this video, guys. If you feel like I wasn't in depth enough, I'm sorry, but like, you're asking me to give you a reroll video when rerolling was a very tiny part of my experience. But I do want to make a reroll video so just so you guys have that hindsight, that foresight, like, yo, this unit is the one that I need to go for, and then after that it's okay. Like, you can't summon multiple SSRs in one multi, so there's not like, it's not like I can say anything like, yo, go for Lotus and go for Yami. First of all, Yami's not even on the reroll banner, and he's on a separate banner, and you can only get one SSR anyway. So it's just like, what does it matter? As long as you get Lotus, I don't really think you're in a bad spot. I know somebody who's summoned and he got Vengeance for his first multi, and he was like, yo, Vengeance is my favorite character, and he used that Vengeance, and he was struggling in a lot of content, and I was just like, yo, that's because you took Vengeance. It didn't take anybody else, you know, at the start, and now it's kind of like reflecting. But if you get the right characters, you will be set up properly in this game. The grind is not hard in this game. It's a bit tedious, but like, the grind in Black Clover is tedious. These motherfuckers had to work hard forever to get to the place that they're at. But that's gonna be it for your boy DEADMANVINCE. Hope you guys did enjoy that video. You can go down below, you can smack the like button, you can also hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time I drop some content. YouTube and honestly Discord, it's very wonky. Like, the Discord bot's very wonky when it comes to dropping my videos, because it does not like to inform people. So definitely hit that notification bell so that you can know whenever I drop something, and also comment down below and talk to me, because I will talk back to you guys and see how the community feels. I very much want to be like super ingrained into the community and make sure everybody's having a good time. You can't please everybody, but I just want to make sure the game is like fair for everybody, and like, there's so much I can do, you know, just talking from my house. But, you know, at some point, when we all come together and the dead man is on top of the Black Clover game and on YouTube, right, then, you know, Vic Gaming will have no choice but to listen, right? But that's it for your boy DEADMANVINCE. Hope you guys did enjoy that video. Reroll wisely and enjoy the game. It will be out in 5 days. Peace.